Hello and welcome back to Off The Crossbar's transfer news update with myself, Regan Walsh, and as ever, my co-presenter, Brad. How are you on this gloomy Friday morning?
Fatigued, if I'm honest. I was lucky enough to get the second dose last weekend. Yes, I'm free. Well, no, I'm probably the most ill I've been in 2 years.
Well,
But I'm not positive, so that's the good thing.
Yes, and what we are positive about, though, is the fact that there has been a bit of transfer news this week for us to talk about. We'll start off with the big story over the last 24, 48 hours, and that is to do with the future of Aston Villa midfielder Jack Grealish. Obviously, this past month and a half, if not 2 months now, he's been linked with a move to Manchester City. And
it's actually been 2 years, but yeah.
Well, yes, but it's reheated a bit over the last 2 months. And City are planning to start talks with Grealish over a potential £75 million move for the England international. However, according to the Express and Star, Aston Villa are to restart talks with Grealish next week about offering him a new deal to ward off interest from Manchester City. Being the Villa fan, what are your thoughts on the current Grealish situation?
Can it just end now? Because I'm sick of this, and it's honestly draining. Just going onto Twitter every single time and seeing the absolute entitlement of both Man City fans and Villa fans. It's awful on both sides. Just horrendous. I wouldn't encourage anyone. Guess what? Twitter is actually a horrible place. Who knew?
No surprises there.
Like, I get it from the Man City sense. They're the champions. The fans see themselves as undeniable. What player would say no to us? If he says no to us, his ambitions must be low as shit. And from our side, the understandable view. What was that? What was that heavy breath from our? You didn't even let me finish. You didn't even let me finish. Oh, how rude! Like, he's one of our own. He's our captain, and many times he has gone on record, quoted, how much he loves this club, and the fact that we're also a club on the rise. We're aiming this season potentially for the European places. And all our transfer business this summer comes with the mind that he stays.
I'm glad you didn't say the one word that I was thinking of, beginning with L and ending in L, and has OYA in between it. Loyal.
Listen, loyalty doesn't need to. He would have put in the transfer request already.
If he was loyal, he would be playing for Ireland, not England.
Oh, are you still stuck on this from 2015? Or 2014,
no,
however long this was. You're almost as bad as
15.
those who go back to the Sheffield incident.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, loyalty's not anything in football. Doesn't matter anything. So
this is a different situation. If he does adore this club, if it was any different, something would have been said already. I feel.
Yeah.
The guy's still on holiday. If we're led to believe anything.
Yeah, I think the All England internationals are meant to come back next week.
Yeah, but
back for pre-season.
Back to the Twitter, because honestly, Villa Twitter has started a war with the Man City writer from The Athletic, and because of that, decided just to cancel The Athletic subscriptions completely. Just funny. Like the guy in question has been a bit vocal himself. Very questionable. Sam Lee.
Yeah, Sam Lee.
He said the stuff slightly unprofessional, sort of things that he's wrote, but some of the things he was writing in the story are questionable.
Such as?
What is your definition of an advanced stage?
In terms of that, I would say you've held talks with the player and the player's representatives, you've agreed personal terms, and you're now just haggling over a few million, is what I'd say is an advanced stage for negotiations.
But in my book, it's the fees agreed. You just speak with the player now to try and get the fees stuff. You think they've spoken to Grealish personally? No, they have not.
It's usually vice versa. The personal terms are usually agreed before the fee is.
I'm sure it's because, we already know who his agent is, and I don't need to say anything on him. But the whole thing was just weird. It didn't need to go to abuse that it went to. Just, is it worth it?
No, I mean, that's football Twitter though for you.
Oh, there you.
If it's nothing good about their club, they'll fans will just write abusive stuff, even if what the journalist or someone is saying is the absolute truth. You've just got to accept it sometimes. But
it doesn't help that Fabrizio Romano was calling out as well. Gilfs, they've had talks. But we know they're serious about this, but there's nothing come out of it, anything being agreed as such.
No.
Which is why I've not gone overboard, and I think fans need to stop doing that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of them where I think it was going to drag on for a while still.
Yeah, this ends next week.
You reckon?
Yeah, he'll be back. If it's true that we've offered the contract, which I firmly believe, knowing our owners, if he wants to stay, he'll sign it.
Yeah, I mean, thing is though, even if he does sign it, it's going to be one of them. How long is it actually for? And you guarantee.
I could expect it being an extension of what he's currently on, because he signed the 4-year deal back in September. So there's 4 years left on his current deal. He'll just sign an extra year again with more wages, which the rumour was we might even go as high as 200k. Which for us is unheard of. But if that's what it takes, then you got to stump it up. But we can do that now.
Definitely so.
The big example, and I'm going away from football to talk with this, because recently we've just seen the absolute proof of how good our owners could actually be for us. Wes Edens, owner of the recently crowned NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks. They have put their heart and soul into keeping their star guy in Giannis Antetokounmpo. If I said that right.
$250
million.
Yes, you did.
Jack Grealish is literally our Giannis.
Yep, definitely.
It's the same stuff built up all these years. The success hopefully will come. If he stays, he goes. The script is completely ripped up, and it's a new plan.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think looking at this from a neutral point of view.
I get the neutral view, but they need to understand it from our point of view.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say it hasn't really been the best of windows for Man City trying to get their two big targets as incomings. I mean,
that's right. They're all thinking they're going to solve both Kane and Grealish. You sold Grealish. You've got no hope in chance on Harry Kane.
Yeah, it's one of the other this window. They're not getting both, and by the looks of things, I don't think they'll get either.
They need a striker more than they need Grealish. Come on.
Yeah, but at this rate, they're not going to get Harry Kane. I think they're going to have to look elsewhere for a striker. So it hasn't been the easiest of markets for Pep Guardiola and co up at the Etihad trying to sign players this summer.
If you remember that article that was coming out that really didn't get a lot of traction in the midweek, they shouldn't be signing anyone.
Well, yes. I mean, the less said about that matter for now is good, because we can talk about that another time.
When it hopefully gets traction.
Transfers. Yes. The other bit of big transfer news this week is that Ben White is set to be announced as an Arsenal player very shortly. He's undertaken both parts of his medicals, as far as I'm aware.
There are 2 parts of medicals. When was there 2 parts to our medical?
I have no idea.
Then again, we've asked, is one the physical side of things, but the second one just the mental aspect of playing for Arsenal?
Well, but even that doesn't help sometimes, because even then
is the exam literally just a clip of Arsenal fan TV and just, can you deal with this? Yeah. How do you react to this? But it's just a clip of time speaking. The defence.
Yeah. I think as a time recording, it still hasn't been announced. But 50 million for Ben White.
If it doesn't work
Obviously,
out.
he's still young, only 23. He was obviously included in the preliminary England squads and that for this upcoming Euro. So he's still got a bright future, but I think 50 million is a bit too much.
Oh, of course it is. But it's the English VAT tax that comes with it.
Yes, and
the extra 20 million.
Yes. Still no news on any outgoings though at Arsenal. The likes of Jack has obviously been linked with. Jack has been linked with the move. There's always paper talk about Lacazette.
There's nowhere that rumor is happening now. Surely it's gone way too quiet.
I don't know. Just you would think that Arsenal would want to get rid of some of their players. Obviously, big contracts. I mean, I think Lacazette's into the last year of his contract. There's been talk of Willian trying to be moved on from them as well. So
he's certainly playing like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting situation there for Arsenal. The signings have looked okay in pre-season. Lokonga. I don't know whether Nuno Tavares has played that well. I haven't seen any of Arsenal's pre-season.
No, I've not watched it, but I know he scored the odd goal.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting to see how quickly they can get all their stuff done in terms of both incomings and outgoings there at the Emirates this summer. Speaking of incomings, Manchester United
here we go.
Finally announced that they have agreed a deal in principle to sign Raphael Varane from Real Madrid. Obviously, the player has yet to take his medical due to the quarantine rules here in England, though according to reports it is set to take place next week after he's done his 5 to 10 days isolation. I mean, for the amount of money United are paying for him, they've got an absolute steal.
34 million. We're at the adult. Like, what?
One of the best.
How?
I'm not even saying this.
How?
I'm not even saying this because he's joining Man United, but he's genuinely one of the best centre backs in world football at the minute.
What? Steady on.
I said he's one of them. I'm not saying he is the.
No. I'm just being a shithouse. I'll get to that.
But like you say, 34 million is just wow, crazy.
Yeah, this is the signing that hopefully takes your defence to the next level.
Yeah, I think that now you think next season, or this season coming, sorry, you're going to have De Gea in goal more than likely, and then Shaw, Maguire, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka as the back four. I think that's a very strong back four for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think it will allow more freedom in the midfield for Pogba. Should he be staying as well? No one knows about it, that future at the minute. Well, yeah, it's a very good signing, and the fact that Real Madrid are only getting 34 million for both Sergio Ramos and Rafa Varane this summer is mental.
But, well, considering their money problems, he needed all the money they could get. Well,
yeah,
it's just I don't know who Real Madrid even got now defensive.
Well, Alaba's going to be there. Nacho, yeah,
that's it. No cover.
I can't think of anyone else. I mean, expect to see, obviously, like I said, David Alaba to be there. Militao, Nacho.
We've got no defenders, but at least we've got Mbappe now.
Well, they haven't even got him.
It's
going to be.
But if we were talking about Man United, weren't we? But it's like, if they're not title challengers next season, is this an absolute damning failure for Ole?
No.
Is it not?
Because I still don't think it's fully there. I mean, we all know this is going to be Cavani's last season with us.
But you were second, close it with a worse squad. If you're not at least around there this season, then that's regression. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no. I'm saying we have to be amongst the title challengers, but I don't think it's a title winning squad just yet. I'd still like one or two more signings to be made, and a few players sold for them to be considered title challengers.
Yeah, and of course, all this talk of Raphael Varane, but we don't know if he could do it on a Tuesday night in Burnley. So,
Don't even get me started on all this bollocks.
Just saying, you can't say he's the best in the world. Has he done it in Lancashire yet?
I don't know. Have they ever been to Lancashire? Real Madrid for a pre-season friendly?
God knows, do they even know what Lancashire is?
Probably not.
I was like, what a joke. What a joke, all that stuff as well. It just was. We all know the bloke was at the same channel who was saying, we're not going there with him.
Yeah, I'm not even going to mention anything them lot say, because them lot speak absolute bollocks.
It was important. I saw a tweet that actually there were more crossing attempts in the Liga last season than there were the Premier League. Like, well, maybe he's very well equipped to deal with this. You know, a 4-time La Liga winner, a Champions League winner, a World Cup winner.
He's literally won everything. He could possibly win at Real Madrid.
It's up for debate, isn't it?
But obviously the potential outgoing and the main one being Paul Pogba this past week has obviously been linked with him going to PSG. He's got 12 months left on his contract. £50 million has been talked about, which is a massive loss for Man United considering what they paid for him. So they're losing about 30 to 40 million if he was to go. It's one of them. Like I said, it'd be nice to see him sign a new contract and play freely and play really well, but I just don't think he wants to be at United.
And if you get rid, you've got to replace him.
Oh yeah, and they will do anyway.
Are you sure they're getting that replacement this window?
I don't think they do this window.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But I think, not really. I don't think he.
You should have somebody first before you even decide to let him leave.
I think it's one of them where any action needs to happen quickly, and they can't let it drag on late into August. It's got to be one of them over the next 2 weeks. By this time the season starts, they will say, right, this is your deadline, Pogba, for your future to be sorted this summer. Otherwise, he's staying with us until January at least. It doesn't necessarily mean he has to sign a contract by the time that. But if no bid comes in by the time the Premier League starts, so United's first game, I believe, is still scheduled for the 14th of August. If no bids came by then, you're staying with us this window.
You would think that's how it would go.
Well, you would do, but you never know with these clubs. Right.
I believe that's all, because this week has been a bit quiet, other than the main stuff.
Yeah.
I guess there was only one thing I could add. It was Palace signing Joachim Andersen, just adding to their amazing business.
West Ham confirmed the signing of Alphonse Areola on loan for this season with
Did you see
to make it permanent next summer.
They put World Cup winner Alphonse Areola like he was the guy in goal for it all. Come on.
I mean, he technically is.
He might be, but that's
World
like...
Cup winner.
I'm trying to figure the best example.
It's a stretch either way, basically. Because he didn't play any minutes during that World Cup campaign.
That's like saying Adama Traoré was crucial to Spain's run to the semi-finals.
No, because Adama Traoré at least came on where Areola didn't feature for France during that World Cup. But yeah, 2 weeks away from the start of the season. Maybe, like you said, over the next week, we'll see some of the more stuff on the England internationals that are away at the Euro finals. And
you're saying that I don't know what I would say then, and then I just
and that gives us about a month tomorrow until the end of the window as well. So Tuesday, the 31st of August, is when it will all slam shut for this next 4 or 5 months before we're back open again in January.
This is probably the last transfer news update. The next sort of transfer thing we probably do will be in the actual return of the podcast itself.
Yes, which will return in 2 weeks' time, unless we're doing any championship talk next week.
It will be 2 weeks.
Okay, right.
I like the
in
championship,
the meantime,
but it just doesn't grab me at this point of the season.
Yes. In the meantime, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a post, and follow us on Twitter at OffTCPod for all the related stuff on transfers and anything else that's happening across the world in football. And until we see you in a couple of weeks' time for the start of the season, return the podcast. It's goodbye from myself and goodbye from Brad.
See ya.
And we'll see you soon.